Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of the Cartridge and Disc Podcast. This is your Gen X Gamer here, and welcome to another episode. Arcade1Up Management. What in the heck are you doing? This is sad. It really is sad in so many ways that this has been going on for way too long, guys. The management team here has done a very poor job at PR. And the way they conduct themselves, as far as the procedures that they follow when it comes to PR, it's just abysmal. It's amateur hour here for this company. And at some point, you get so many of these, it's going to start biting you in the butt. Now, the latest, event that has occurred for this company, here on YouTube is, an alleged and pretty proven rig contest, which is, guys, if we're to be honest here, it's not out of the ordinary for a lot of these companies, to have a contest that is swayed, I wouldn't say fixed, but swayed one way or another before it even starts. But listen, there's several ramifications for that, right? But let's start off here with what's occurred. Not only the rigging of the contest, but there were some personal issues there that happened with this. If you want to, get into all the nitty gritty, go watch the Rexer stream that he did, where they lay out all that stuff. Because of my social media restrictions for my job, I'm not going to get into individuals or anything like that. If you want that kind of content, you're more than welcome to find it out there. I'm just going to focus on the business because, I find that interesting, number one. Number two is it can help us all learn. It really is. At some point, maybe some of you want to have your own business and you're going to be looking for influencers to promote your products, maybe. I'm not in that kind of business, nor would I ever be, right? But there's certain things that you have to do, right, with your employees or agents or anybody that's going to represent your company. And for social media influencers, it's very simple. Make my company look good, right? And give them a rules of what they can and they cannot do, right? When an influencer goes over the line, it's because he hasn't been trained properly. Either one, or he's just being unsubordinate and doesn't follow your instructions. But for this company, from what I've seen in the past, there hasn't been anything that they stick to as far as a training program, for their social media influencers that they decide to attach themselves to, unless they're actually getting paid as employees. And let me tell you something, guys. When you decide that your company is going to team up with somebody, they represent your company at that moment. That is the face of your company. So you have to be really choosy, right? Who you decide to partner up with if you're trying to put your brand out there, right? You want to make sure that you know them, that you know their background, not only when you're going to hire them, right? Because a lot of these companies do this stuff for free. Now, with this black eye, right? And black eye after black eye with PR, with amateur hour, PR that's being done here, not only by this company, say in television, has gone through the same things, and other companies, and they decide to partner up with influencers because supposedly it's free, right? What part of free is it when you have to spend man hours of actual paid employees trying to fix these messes, right? Because you have to make a statement on this one. You have to make a statement on this one. Influencers have to know that they can't rig contests blatantly like this, make a statement to it, and on top of that, do it for sexual favors. I mean, this is stuff that should be on Jerry Springer, not on Arcade1Up. And this is the sad part. This company had a great idea, has a good idea. I mean, this company's in Best Buy. They should be investing in actual, influencers that have a reach. They should be spending the money on that. They probably think it's too much money. Well, how much money are you going to lose from this? I mean, do you want people associating Arcade1Up with this kind of stuff? You don't. So what part of it is free? What part of it is free? If you're going to need to spend even more in advertising, even more with other influencers now, developing a vetting process on who you're going to do business with. There are, people out there in the arcade community where, you can partner up and give them a salary. But these people have to know what they can and cannot do. But the onus on that is on management. It's on the people that are head of the company, and it starts there. And I've criticized this company for a very long time, right? Because their PR is so weak, it's so disastrous. Once you get to the level where you're having trouble with your hardware, right? Because that's really been their weak point. Over-promising and under-delivering will always get you in trouble. You don't need to add Jerry Springer drama to this stuff. This doesn't have to be an episode of Maury. On top of that, don't you already have problems with the Fast and Furious? Don't you already have problems with the NFL Blitz? Don't you already have problems with Marvel versus Capcom? You needed to add this to it? Right? It's a cherry on top. Right? What a disaster. What the heck are you guys doing? You're in Best Buy. You're in major stores. Why do you need to be involved in this stuff? Why do you need to be penny pinching here by partnering up with people that you haven't vetted? Right? And I don't know anybody here, so I'm not trying to criticize anybody personally. It doesn't matter. The vetting process is not only the background of the person, but also training them, right? And say, okay, this is the contest you're going to have. This is how you have to do it. These are the rules of the game. This is how you should conduct yourself when you're representing our company, right? And on top of that, guys, this violates terms of service, right? So whose responsibility is that? As a company, you put yourself out there for all kinds of trouble, right? Take an example of another influencer. Let's say another influencer does something completely wacky. Who's on the hook for that, right? Does Arcade1Up bear any responsibility on the wrongdoing of an influencer, depending on what they do? In some cases, depending on the state, and this is not legal or financial advice, you might need to talk to a lawyer, right? Because you don't know what these people are going to do. So people need to follow a program that you've developed and say, okay, listen, we're going to partner you up. You're going to be a rep of the company. You're going to get, you're going to get a free arcade cabinet, right? And the cost of the company might be $150, $200. But for those $200, you got to do A, B, and C, and you got to follow it to the letter of the law. But nobody's doing that, and that starts with John D. Right? Whoever's heading the PR team and the PR disasters that I pointed out are headed by him. He's the only one that can fix it, unless the owners want to come in and do some major, house cleaning. But this is just silly, and let me tell you this, guys. My opinion on the Arcade1Up product is, at a certain price, I'm okay with it. I know what it is. I know it's not an official, arcade. I'm not an arcade purist. The Arcade1Ups that I have are mostly decorations. My kids do play with them. We do have fun. But I'm not playing online. I'm not playing competitive. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Right? For the right price, I would be happy with the product. I'm not going to buy any products that are $900, right? But if anything's on sale, I'd probably buy if I have the room for it, right? But here you have a company that had a great idea, right? That has the licenses, that has hardware problems already, and their PR just continues to be a disaster over and over and over again, and they just can't get it right. It's just so disappointing. So much potential pissed away by poor job performances across the board when it comes to PR. That's what you get, guys. You can have very hardworking people in the background, and a bad PR campaign can destroy everything, right? All the good faith work you put on can be destroyed. And if you add to that the fact that you're already having problems on the hardware side, then you're just making a nightmare for yourself. These are unnecessary headaches. The company already has enough problems, but just to entertain you, they want to throw in some Maury Jerry Springer drama on for you because it's not enough. Oh man, this is not the kind of thing that should be associated with a professional company. And that rests directly on the shoulders of John D. I hope they get it right, for the sake of the arcade community out there, and they start making better products. And but over the last couple of years, nothing's really changed. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.